Hello everyone, this will be the last step in building a perfect anime or cartoon character's head that can be used in any scene with almost no limitations. We finished the retopology part, but the head still doesn't look quite right. So we will take it a little bit further to its perfection through various techniques of editing normals, which will all be used in parallel with one another to maximize the efficiency and avoid limitations as much as possible. The first technique we will use will be proxy. A proxy is a normals data feeder or reference for the object to take data from. It can be a totally different looking mesh than the target. Some people use a cylinder or a sphere. This is quite common. But in our case here, we will use the head itself as a normals data feeder, which is what we call a proxy. So first of all, we will duplicate the head we made and rename this to normals head or whatever you want to call it, but I will keep it as it is, plain 6, for now. Now hide this head for a moment and go back to plain 6 or normals head. Switch to sculpt mode and start smoothing out the areas that has the most messed up shades. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the closest it can be to being fixed. Then change the light angle and do it once again. Rinse and repeat until you have done that for every lighting angle. Once you're done with this process, go to viewport display and convert the visibility to wireframe. Unhide the original head. Pick the original head. Add a data transfer modifier. Pick the plane 6 or normals head as a target object. And check the face corner data and custom normals. Make sure that the auto smoothing is turned on for this object for this to work properly. Then start scaling up plane 6 slightly until the data transfer is giving the most desired result. It is preferable if the two meshes are not intersecting at any point. Now try different light angles and see how it goes in the end. If it looks way off, then you'll have to redo the previous steps. It doesn't always give the same results, and the slightest error makes a huge difference. If the errors are only on little bits, then just go back onto sculpt mode on plane 6 and smoothen out those little bits. Once it's all done, pick the original head and switch to edit mode and select the neck and the eyes. Invert the selection, then make a new group with those parts assigned to it. Assign this group to the data transfer so that it will be only applying to the face. This is our goal here. Now moving on to the second technique, which is the normal editing. This will need the abnormals add-on, which is quite useful in this case. I will try to leave a link to it in the description below. It's quite easy to use if you know what you want to do. So first off, go into edit mode and start marking scenes in slices, which we talked about earlier in the retopology episode. Go to Preferences and turn on the Abnormal add-on. You will find the Normal Editor panel added in the 3D viewport. Now go back into Edit mode, select the right middle side of the face. And press Start Normal Editor. Align it to negative y-axis, then rotate it on the z-axis a little bit to the right. It's worth noticing, though, that I selected the negative y-axis because the head is facing the y-axis. So it might be different for you depending on which side the face is facing. Test out the light angle to make sure it was done right. If it's okay, then hit the confirm button to exit the normals editor. And start doing the same for the other side. You can stop at that if things are going smoothly. If not, and you want to edit the whole face, then just do the same for every slice of the face, one by one. Once you are done, smoothen out the vectors in edit mode for better outcome. You can do that repeatedly until it stops making any changes. Then test out the impact of light on the head. If everything is done right, then that's just it. You are done with normals editing and done with your anime character's head. So that was all for this tutorial series on how to build an anime character head, which is the hardest part of building an anime characters. Of course, it can work for other stylized characters, like cartoon characters or such. I hope that was all useful so far. Please give me feedback and comments on my videos to know what I can work on in the future for the other tutorials, because I'm planning to do more Blender tutorials, maybe even other 3D programs tutorials. So yeah, I would appreciate the support, and thank you all for watching my tutorials.